San Francisco Rush is one of my favorite racing games of all time. It's in my top 2 for sure. I think it's such a fun cabinet. So in this video, I thought I'd kind of go over it, tell you a little bit about why I think it's really a great machine, and I'm also going to race through all of the tracks. Well, here it is. This is my San Francisco Rush the Rock cabinet. It is not a dedicated Rush the Rock. What that means is it started its life as a San Francisco Rush, and eventually they released an upgrade kit for San Francisco Rush the Rock, which added more tracks, which is great because the original only came with 3 tracks. Now it has 7 tracks. Pretty much every one I run across now is upgraded to Rush the Rock. If it were dedicated, it would have dedicated side art. You can't see a whole lot of it in here. Let's see, I can't push that anymore. What happened is they got the new ROM kit, they got the new hard drive, and they got this sticker which goes over the original logo, and that's about as close as it gets. I really wish I did have the dedicated one because it would have made it much easier to get it in here. The dedicated cabinets split at the seat section, so you can remove the seat, making it much easier to move. This thing was a nightmare to get up the 4 stairs and into the Shedcade. If you're unfamiliar with the Shedcade, this is my backyard arcade. It's literally I guess the building is a shed, and it is something I've turned into a backyard arcade with air conditioning, drywall, heat, all that stuff. So anyway, but it was very hard to get it in here, and I really wish I'd done a better job cleaning it up ahead of time or restoring it, but this was the second machine I ever bought. I didn't know what I was doing, so it's a little beat up, but it's as good as it's going to get for now. But let's just kind of go over this thing from the top down. This is actually a pretty short cabinet. I'm about 5'7", 5'8", and this comes pretty much to the top of my head is right there. It's not a very tall cabinet. It has this low back area, which is kind of cool. You can put stuff on it. The Rush hat there that my friend Mark made, a couple of them right there. I need to move it out to where it's more visible. Occasionally I remember to wear it when I'm playing, but not all the time, unfortunately. Anyway, so this is a rare Midway, well, it's an Atari game, but at this point Midway had already owned Atari, so I call this a Midway game, hence the awesome Midway sign. Anyway, I love Midway, so that's why I'm going to freak out about that little fact, but let's move on. This marquee is original. I don't know if anyone sells a replacement for it. It's kind of an odd one since it's curved instead of just a big rectangle. I guess you could cut it down to size. This is plastic, which is kind of also rare. Got a little bit of gunk on it inside there. When I got this cabinet, it had a mouse problem at some point. There was a couple dead mice inside. There were poop. There was pee. It was not good. So got it cleaned up. There was insulation. There was like mice were pulling insulation into the back plastic holes back there behind the buttons, and they were living inside of there and dying inside of there. It's where I found one of the corpses. So it was kind of interesting, but got it cleaned up enough to get it in here, and it still kind of had a musty odor, unfortunately, for the first year or two, but it's starting to smell a little bit better now. Anyway, plastic marquee. The entire front is actually plastic, which we should probably go over a little bit. This is a rare design that I'm surprised held up this well. It's very thick. I mean, you can actually pull on this to get yourself up and down from the cabinet, but it is just a big plastic front. It actually has a hinge on the back here. Let me move the hat. If you take off some bolts underneath all this plastic, underneath the steering there are a couple bolts and brackets. You take that off, the entire front of the cabinet will hinge outward and lift up almost like a car hood, so you can get to the CRT and you can do anything you need to do in there. This is glass, so that's cool, but kind of an interesting design. Never saw this on another cabinet ever made. I don't know why they didn't do it like this ever again. It worked really well. Really cool, bright green. It pops. It's really visible in the arcade. I was always attracted to this machine. Just below that, we have our leader indicator. So when you are in first place, there's a light behind this. It lights up. Pretty fun. I always enjoy that. This is a rare arcade game that actually has real surround sound. It has 4.1 is what I'll call it. We have our front left, front right. In the seat back here, there are 2 speakers too. It's going to be hard to see since my change machine is in the way. The speakers are actually pointing out towards the back of the cabinet. And for a while, I wasn't sure if this was exactly how it was supposed to be done, but turns out it is. And I think the reason is if these speakers are facing the player, it's going to be very loud. But if they're facing outward, the sound will attract more people going this way, and this side has open vents, so the back of the speaker is still going to kind of hit you and you're still going to hear it, but it's not going to be super loud. Probably a really smart design that I don't think I would have ever thought of, so that's really nice too. And it's going to be stupidly hard to see, but yeah, down here, Atari games. This is a subwoofer grate. I want to say it's a 6-inch sub. It may be an 8. There is a subwoofer in the seat, hence the 0.1 for the sound system. Hollow plastic seat, just like Hydro Thunder, with the subwoofer inside, just a green color. And it is adjustable, just like most of the games that came with these. I really like it. I love the woofer in the seat. It adds that little bit of vibration and just kind of makes you feel a little bit more immersed in the game. This cabinet has a big 27-inch monitor. It is recessed a little bit, which is nice. It keeps it right out of your face. The glass here and the way the cabinet just kind of like curves around you almost feels more immersive to me. I like it a lot. That is a heavy, heavy monitor. It's very awkward to get out of there. You pretty much have to just unbolt the hinge and take this entire front off, remove all the wire harnesses to get it out of there. We had to get it out of there initially because when I got this cabinet, the monitor did not work. My good friend Jojo at the Wicked Arcade came over and helped me out. We still have a little bit of pin cushion that we've never been able to solve on this monitor. We're really the chassis, I guess. Eventually, I might just buy another chassis for this monitor. I think Mike's Amateur Arcade Monitor Repair might have one that I could buy from him. He seems to have one of everything, so maybe I'll just buy it and let him take this one and see if he could fix it. Below that is a oversized steering wheel. Again, I think one of a kind. I don't think this was ever seen on another machine. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Hard Drivin' had that one. Hard Drivin' is kind of like the very early version of this, if you ask me. It's not as fun, but it's more like a simulator game. I played a little bit of it. Very, very difficult game. This one is definitely a little bit more arcade feeling and a little bit more fun to play, of course. But I don't remember if it had that big wheel. Maybe it did. If it did, I'll try to correct myself with an overlay on the screen. Inside, we got our music buttons. We have 3 view buttons. I rarely use the other views, but sometimes it's fun to do so. The wheel actually has a decent amount of rotation, but even in attract mode, it always goes back there. It's like the motor is always ready to move it in case somebody's messing with it. Very, very strong force feedback on this cabinet. I've never felt a cabinet with that much force feedback in it. In fact, if you have it on the hardest setting, it will actually, I imagine if you're a kid playing it and you put it on the hardest setting, it could actually hurt you with the way it jerks around. If you get your hand in the wrong spot, it might jerk and hurt your kid fingers, which I don't have. I have stupid sausages, so not a problem for me, but I usually keep it on light now because my cabinet has a problem with the steering motor board. It's a common issue from what I gather as these machines age. The steering motor board has a gigantic heat sink on it, and there are some chips that are attached to it, and from what I understand, those chips go kind of bad and they overheat really easily, even with the fan running on them. And I've never replaced them or never tried replacing them, but replacing them might actually fix it. I need to dive in there one of those days and actually try that. All right, let's take a look at the pedals. Sorry again for the dust down there. I'm really embarrassed. At the very least, I'd wish I'd just spray painted it black. I did that on Hydro Thunder because it's very hard to get all the gunk and grime out of all those little grooves. So get as much as you can out, spray paint it, and it works nicely. But again, I was not that confident, and I did not do that much work to this machine before moving it in here. But anyway, we do have a gas pedal, a brake pedal, of course, and a clutch. Now, I never touched the clutch when I was in the arcades. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I was like, look, I'm paying 75 cents a play for this bad boy. I want to get the most out of it. I'm going to go automatic. But I have found, now that I own it at home, it's a lot of fun to shift gears with. And the shifter is actually in the proper spot. Unlike most racing games, especially for Midway, they used to always be up here and you would have to, shift at the dash. It just felt wrong and weird. I think the reason it's down there is, for one, they wanted it to feel more like a car, and two, the abort button is here. This is what you hit if your car crashes and you want to get back into the race quickly. But here's the shifter, a simple 4-way shifter. I was very surprised to find this still works perfectly, including the reverse button. Rare to find after, I know this game saw tons of arcade use from what I gather, so I'm surprised it still works. Maybe their tech repaired it before it got sold to private use. But yeah, that's about it as far as just kind of going over the cabinet. I really think it's such a cool game. A few minor things that I will probably talk about while I'm playing. The game has really good graphics. It came out in 1997, I believe, maybe 98 for this upgrade. I'll have to look that up too. But it has really great graphics. It's keeps great track of your best times, it like keeps you really engaged with the game. There's a lot of secrets, a lot of shortcuts, a lot of fun stuff on here. I love the floaty physics where you can really fly with the car. It's just a really, really fun, and most importantly, as someone who owns it in your home, it is a really replayable game. It has great replay value. You'll want to come back to this thing. You'll want to keep finding new secrets. cutting those corners, trying to get your best time beat. And as you can see, I do quite a bit of that here. Not so much on track 7 because I don't play that one that much. But on the other tracks, I get very close to my best times. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of little touches in the game that hopefully I'll remember to talk about while I'm playing. So what I want to do now is just have you guys watch, and I'll play through, I guess, all 7 tracks on the game. I want to show you guys some secrets. I'll probably have to go back to some tracks and edit some things so I can show you some areas that don't really make sense to visit when you're trying to race, but it is fun that there's just little stuff hidden in this game to check out. So let's get started on that. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's get right into it. I'm going to start with track number 1. We're going to go all the way through to 7. Hopefully the volume is good. I don't have to yell over this thing. All right. So I think I mentioned earlier, I always drop the feedback strength to light. You can set it in the arcade settings, and I do that, but I've got it set to light, and I notice it stays on light for one race, and then it goes back to medium. So keeping it on light helps me have my steering stay working, at least the power steering. It doesn't, after about 5-6 hard races, it starts to drop out and overheat. So try to keep it on light at all times. Before I forget, one thing I do want to point out, a really cool feature about the game's, little touches. If you look at the car, there is reflections of the sky, and that will change when we go in this tunnel. It changes to show the reflection of the tunnel ceiling, like right here. And there are different ones for different textures. It's really an interesting small feature that the game, or the developers, took the time to put in, which I thought was really nice. I love those little features in a game. Now, I think I might have said this too, but if I didn't, I'm not a world-class Rush player. I'm decent, but I don't do like hardcore speed runs. I compete with my own times, but that's about it. If you want to see a great speed runner of the arcade game, look up Anderson Becker on YouTube. He is, I believe he's French, and he shows up sometimes in my live streams, and he is really, really good. I think he holds several world records for this game. I do love that the cars also show damage. So we're looking at the hood there, and the hood's kind of beat up. The top of the car has been hit. The back of the car has been hit. Another fun touch that you didn't really get in a lot of racing games back then. This game, I think, was pretty ahead of its time, if you ask me. Oh, I messed up the shift. Oh well, we're going this way. God, what is happening? That was terrible. Since I'm definitely not going to get a good time, I'm going to take a slightly different route just for fun. There's no way you guys are going to be able to hear it on the video, I don't think. I would be stunned if the microphone can somehow pick this up. But it would be really cool if you could hear the surround effects. Like when that car passed, I heard it on the left speakers going by my head. When we pass those speaker towers, you'll hear the announcer talking. It passes by you on whatever side it's on. It's really an impressive sound system in this game. All right, I didn't even come in the top 100 for my best times. Best time for me is 2:21:32, so nowhere near it this time. All right, track 2, one of my favorite tracks. When it was just not the upgraded version, when I was a kid and I was playing this in the arcade, this was definitely one of my favorite tracks. I loved all the little hidden stuff. And in fact, on this track, I'm going to try to remember to go back at the end of the video, and I will put in the infinite loop clip. I gotta remember to leave the music on every now and then too. I usually race with it off because I like to be able to hear the engine, the shift, and all that. We'll leave some music on. Pretty cool water effect. Ooh. Another thing to note, because you might be confused watching me play, tracks 2 through 7 are supposed to be 3-lap tracks. I go into the arcade settings and take them down to 2 laps each, just to, you know, it's a long race otherwise, so I don't want to have to sit here for like 10 minutes each time I play, which it's a great game and I love playing it, but I like the variety of it, so I just bring them down to 2 laps per track. Some people really hate that I do that, and just thought I'd explain it so you're not confused. I'm going to turn the music off for up here. Oh, hold on. I gotta focus. I didn't get to break the window, but that's a window that you can break with your car. Oh, I might hit the top after you... Okay. My buttons do not work very well. There's another thing I regret not fixing up more. Awesome landing. Ooh, that was really close. There is another tunnel on the right side of the track there. I usually go to this one because it's one I've learned to control the car through in the turns, so I don't even mess with going in that one. It's the same thing, just a mirrored image pretty much. We'll take a different route this time and go... You can go straight, but I find I like this way a little bit better. There is a rare Primal Rage 2 arcade game ad in that lower section if you go down there. The loop trick I'm talking about, you would go straight on that ramp and you have to nail the jump to where you land in between those 2 platforms up here, and then you go out to a spot on the track that you can't physically see until you get near there. It's a really cool little trick though. This is a route I don't think I ever knew was here until I bought the arcade game. A couple big rig trailers there with arcade ads on them. And we're gonna try this way. Oh, you son of a bee. Well, there is a hole in that building you can shoot through, but a hidden hole. That guy really screwed that up though. This game has so many secrets I'd never be able to show them to you unless this video is hours upon hours long. I don't know about hours, but it would take a lot of time to re-race them. Let's do this just for fun. There we go. Oh, all right, I'm alive. No, I'm dead. Definitely not gonna hear the what's your name off that one. 34th best time. Love that. So this is a tough track. I'd say, I don't know if any of them, okay, these are also listed as extreme, but this one's truly a tough one if you ask me. I will do this, nope, this car. And manual on this one. I love the wheel, how it just does its thing. The AI is very aggressive at times. Already broke up my car a little bit. Just go through the parking garage. These turns are kind of like little berms almost for cars. I don't know, I ride mountain bikes, so I don't know if there's a different word for cars when the road is like that. A bank? I don't know. But it feels, the car reacts really well to it, especially this turn. This is a great one. Come in hot like that and just land on it. I don't know how, when I was a kid, I must have done a lot of exploring and I found this little spot and I just loved this. I thought I was a genius for finding this. Oh, it's a little squirrely through here and I really ruined that. It's very hard to do well when there's a camera on me for some reason. Let's go this way. This turn's always fun because it kind of just locks you down into it. Get off me. Oh boy. We're gonna shortcut through Chinatown. Some pretty good surround effects through here. Go over the convenience store. Oh wow. Came in much faster than I thought. All right. There is a tunnel hidden in the brush over there. I only use that tunnel if I use the easy track. Oh, come on, guy. The AI is killing me today. Literally. Really throwing off my score, or time. But yeah, I only use that tunnel. It exits right over here to the left. I only use that when I have the very easy car on this track, because it's very easy to get through that tunnel safely with that car, but not with the better cars. They're just too weird. And that is something I should probably mention. If you race this game on the first two tracks, or I'm sorry, the first two cars, they react more like arcade-style race cars. They don't have many realistic physics to them and all that. Once you get up into this car and then the ultra-hard extreme car, whatever, it says full simulation, and I mean, I'm not sure how well they were able to simulate physics back then, but it does drive very much like a real car in the fact that you will spin out if you do stupid stuff. The car is not going to stay perfectly stable in the air. As you can see, this one gets a little sideways even. So if you're a new person on this game and you want to have fun with it, don't pick anything but the beginner car initially until you get a feel for the game. Let's see if I can go this way again. That car literally disappeared into the dirt. That was interesting. Like it clipped and just disappeared. Let's see if I can do better this time. A little drifting. Oh, nope. Can't do better this time. You can see a new texture on the windshield there. Different roof texture reflection. Different roof texture reflection is what I was trying to say, as I just completely lose control of this car for some reason. The only bad thing about having, well, not the only, but one of the bad things about having a pincushion effect on the monitor is I can't see my time in the corner there. It gets cut off, and there's not a lot I can do about it unless I want to shrink the monitor a little more and then have black things on the side. So I got to get that fixed eventually. I just know we could not seem to figure out what caused that one on this particular chassis. Excuse me. I'm not going to go in there because that tunnel is instant death on this car. This taxi needs to get away from me. What a jerk. God, he is just all over me. Dang it. Bad run. Let's see how far out I ranked. Did I get in the top 100 though? I highly doubt it. Oh, I did. 73. 73rd best time. My original, I was about 23 seconds behind my best time. So there you go. Let's move on to the Rock. Oh, steering is strong right there. Still pick this car because I just think it's so much fun. It's a good balance between simulation and arcade feel, even though it definitely leans more simulation. It would have been nice if they'd made I guess a fifth car right in the middle of all of them. That would have been dead center on arcade and simulation, but I think that's what they were trying to avoid. You need to either pick one or the other. This track is definitely one of my favorites. Such a cool addition to the game. Lots of loops, lots of jumps. I don't think I can hit all of the secret paths, but I'll point some out. One will be coming up here on the left. I'm not going to do it. There's a tunnel right there. It's a pretty wild one because it does a complete U-turn on you. At full speed, you don't blow up. We will hit that loop on the next lap on the right. I prefer going this way, but I know the speed runners don't. Ooh. This part's always fun. Inevitably, yep, there he goes. There's a car that always does a flip or something there. Usually it burns up. Watch the reflection on the car switch to a ceiling, and now it is back to outdoors. Weird how much that excites me. We're gonna go up on the roof. Secret this time. Another trick I don't think I ever noticed until I had the cabinet at home. You can just jump over here, go around the back, land on the grass where you can burn out on it. If you are intrigued by what is inside this cabinet, like the hardware that runs everything, I made a video a while back. I'm going to try to remember to link to it in the description, where I basically just showed the guts of the cabinet, the board, the driver board, all that stuff. I always find that stuff interesting, so I made videos when I buy cabinets and show what's inside of them. Here we go. The cool thing is the siren, you can hear it change with the surround effect because it knows you're upside down and all that. Oh, it's gonna be bad. Come on, land it. Oh, I survived. Holy crap. Beat up the car, but I'm here. We'll take the loop, which rockets us out, and I will do a different shortcut this time. This is definitely the fastest way to go. Another thing I've always loved about this game are the burnouts that end up on the street. I just think that's such a really, I don't know why, I was absolutely fascinated by that as a kid. They do disappear, but I love that you can see it. I love that the other cars make burnouts. Just again, touches like that make the game really interesting. Maybe I'm weird, but I think it's cool. 47th best time. That kind of sucked, but it was better than the other ones. So we're moving on to the tracks. These are admittedly not my favorites. I don't play 5, 6, and 7 very much. But there's still good tracks. I tend to crash a lot, so I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm going to go with the expert car still. I really don't, now that I think about it, I don't use the hardest car, the extreme car, hardly at all, other than for the first track. So that's interesting. I will play it every now and then, but if I'm trying to do the best race, I usually stick with this one. Oh, I didn't shift. Whoops. Maybe this track that has some of the craziest music. I'll have to check once I can get a better time to. We're going to try to nail this jump. There are 3 different holes you can land in up here. Oh, I think I got it. Let's put on track 5. Oh, come on. This is not the one that I was thinking of, but it's still funny. There's a track where the singer makes all the whoas. It sounds ridiculous. Take out some trees. Oof. I do like the music in this game. I opted to turn it off on the attract mode though, because the attract mode was just playing music all the time, and it kind of got loud and annoying because all the other machines in here tend to quiet down after a certain amount of time, but this game just plays sound the entire time it's in the attract mode. So I got tired of the music and turned it to just be audio effects only. Whoa! Oh, this is going to be a bad landing. I'm going to tell you now. Yep. Flip it. Stop. Oh, boy. We are definitely going to die. Yeah. I'll take the other shortcut back here since I've already lost a lot of speed. I don't know if it's really a shortcut. Ooh. Screw it. We'll go over here, too. Why not? I don't know where we're going, but we'll find out. Oh, that's right. Let's see. Can I go this way? I'm not sure if this is even considered a shortcut, but man, we get some air. I'm pointing up at the sky. I think you can go between this building and between that building. And I have no idea where we're going from here. There it is. I missed the jump this time, but no big deal. Some hard turns through here. We'll go this way again. This is the song I was thinking of. Oh, come on. See if I can. I'll take this other jump right here. Whoa! Just an alternative option for a route. Let's run into the wall. Boom. That was nowhere near our best time. I screwed up a lot on that run. '41st best time. About 20 seconds behind my best. 19, I guess. All right, let's keep going. We're gonna go with track 6. This one's considered extreme, which I find interesting. I do use an easier car on it, though. I will change the cars. I like that one for some reason. We're going to go with that. I am going to still shift. Right as the race starts, I head for the shortcut over here. Just go right behind that, and you're in a nice little neighborhood. Front view. I need to really hopefully nail this jump though. Oh, that couldn't have been more perfect, I don't think. Jump right over the boats. And here we are. Meet up with the guys. Oh, that could have been bad. This car is much easier to control and it gives you a decent amount of speed over the first beginner car. Let's see, do I get to break it? Oh, he already broke it. Dang it. I love breaking the glass. Okay, this is kind of a tricky one. Oh, I made it, but I overshot it a little. Let's get out of the grass. First place. Big burnout there. Downshift. I usually downshift to kind of engine brake that corner. It's a hard turn. Again, I don't know why I was late on shifting. This one's tricky. You kind of have to hang to the right. Otherwise, you'll slam into that brick wall up there if you aren't paying attention ahead of time. And this slows you down, which kind of sucks. This could be a bad landing. Oh, yeah, it's a bad one. Dang it. I'm going to take the same shortcut again just because it's kind of nice not having the computer drivers running into you all the time. Get to hear the birds chirping as you go through. Wow, I'm still in first. Oh, right as I said it, it turned off, but I'm back. See if I can go through this building a little cleaner this time. Get the extra time box. I didn't get it. There's a time box up there that for some reason adds more time, but you don't really need it if you're nailing jumps like that. see if I can nail this. The exit was not very good last time, so let's see. I don't know, we'll see. Come on, go, go, go. Barely got it. That's a smooth landing. You don't want to land on that lip. And these can get kind of squirrely too. I think we're going to be good all the way. First gear. I might get my initials on that one. It wasn't a good one, but yep, at least we get to hear the music. It wasn't good, I guarantee that. 8. Start with a C. This game's cool because it lets you put in your actual name. Like, I can keep going and add a bunch more, but I don't want that on there, so I'm going to delete that. Killer Arcade Games, there we go. Great song. Very weird.
That's how you spell it.
There we go. Best time on that track was 3:26. Keep in mind, though, I'm doing it with 2 laps, not 3. All right, we only have one more track, then I'll show you guys a few fun things. This track is not my favorite, to be perfectly honest, but it's still pretty cool. It has that long straightaway. I would never race this car on it. It's too difficult. In fact, we're going to go back to this car. And just for fun, I'm going to leave it on automatic this time, so hopefully you can, I don't know, you can see if anything seems different. We'll leave some music on too. One thing I use when I'm in automatic a lot is the reverse button. I'll use that to kind of drift around corners. I'll just tap it, and it helps slow you down a little bit, and kind of gives you a little drift. And there are some hard turns in this track. Oh boy. Pretty cool shortcut I found even as a kid. I was really, once again, felt pretty proud that I figured that out on my own. It's coming up here. Hopefully I can hit it perfectly. Right here, I was looking at it one day like, I bet I could do this. I thought it would give me trouble, like, hey, you skipped a shortcut or you skipped a checkpoint, but it doesn't. You skip a chunk of the track and everyone's behind you. It's kind of nice. And then you can take this little shortcut and hopefully fly over that perfectly. Ooh, close. Little drift right there. Turn the music off because it's good, but it gets old quickly. Sorry to, hopefully the people who made the music don't see this and be like, oh, thanks a lot. This turn is ridiculously difficult. You gotta hit it just right. I don't think I'm gonna here. Oh my god, I kinda did. Good enough. Part of this game's charm, too, is when you play it on emulation, here I get to break the glass, hold on. Yeah, there we go. When you play this on emulation, you don't get this, but the frame rate really drops, and you might be able to tell right here. When you're moving around quickly or doing a lot of turns, you see a big drop in the frame rate. Now, a lot of people have problems with that nowadays, like, oh, the game sucks. I'm not saying that about this game, but if your PC gaming or your Xbox games started doing that, you would be upset. But it's some kind of like weird charm. It's like they were pushing the hardware as hard as they could to make this game look as cool as it was. And sometimes the frame rate would just drop, and I find that to be really weirdly charming and kind of fun. And you don't get that when you emulate these games. They run almost perfectly smooth because modern hardware does not have any problem running this. That was a little squirrely. Let's see if we can jump this. Lost first place, but I'll get it back as long as this turn goes smoothly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's all right. I think we're good. Yeah, still got it. Take this too. Ooh. Let's hit that straight away. Let's put some more music on. The Nintendo 64 version of this game was actually a pretty good port. I really loved it. It looked pretty decent. It sucked we didn't have the steering and all that. You could buy a steering wheel, but it didn't have proper feedback. But still, it was fun to play at home. To me, nothing beat the arcade experience, so I had to buy this cabinet, of course. Oh boy, there's some more of that frame rate dipping. Uh-oh, no, don't go off that way. Oh no. Oh, thank you for the boost. The PlayStation version, I hope this doesn't upset anybody, but I thought it was horrendous. It didn't feel like Rush. It barely looked like Rush. The physics were all off. It was just a dumpy, bad port, in my opinion. 64 did pretty well, though. There we go. So that's all 7 tracks. Now, I am going to go back. I'm going to edit some of the lead up to it out, but track 2 has a very fun... Oh, that was my second best time. That's how little I play that track. Anyway, track 2 has that fun loop we're going to do, and then this track actually has a hidden stunt track that's kind of difficult to get to, so I'm going to have to probably edit the beginning of it out, like I said. But I'm going to go right to it. So for this shortcut, I have turned off the drones. I did the little, it's not really much of a secret. You hold the music button and press view 2 and it will let you turn the AI players off. It just helps to make sure I can nail this perfectly. You want to be at about, I guess 118 miles per hour as you come up to this. Be on the left side here, go through the cones, stay on the left side of the yellow line. Boy, let's hope I do this. I haven't done this in a while. Again, this is one that I figured out on my own as a kid. I was so impressed with myself. Nailing that timing was very difficult. You can start to see it pop up here. This is a huge set of loops that run through here. The coolest part was back when this was just San Francisco Rush, before they added the rock, you could do this and you would hit these time boxes and it adds time as you go. You do have to turn around to get away from that or you will blow up. But you just keep looping repeatedly, and it's best to stay in this view, by the way. As you loop, you just keep picking up more time boxes. So now I'm up to 77 seconds. And when I was on the, before they did the upgrade, you could actually do this repeatedly to the point where you had about, I want to say almost 400 or 500 seconds of time. So you didn't really have to rush after that, hence, you know, no pun intended, I guess, but you didn't really have to rush. You could kind of explore the track, which was really fun. I'm going to do this a few more times. They fixed it with the rock, where it stops giving you time at a certain point, so you can't just sit there and play. I remember the arcade operator would watch me do this as I was a kid, figuring this out, and he would stand behind. I could see him in the reflection of the glass, and he would be like, how is this kid playing for 10 plus minutes? Okay, I don't think it's going to give me more time. But he would say, how is this kid playing for 10 minutes off 1 credit? You know, you could tell he did not care for it. Okay, we're not getting any more time. So if we go over here, Mace the Dark Age ad. Let's see if I can make one more loop. This is the other side of it. I don't think I'm going to make it. Oh, I'm dead. You can see the cars starting to come loose. Oh, we're back, though. So that's fun. What else is there in here? There's not anything on this side, but you could get some air and really fly up that. I'm going to try to nail this. There we go. Let's see. Get in there. Okay, I made it. There's a guy right here. BunchCon 9. Just some hidden dude that's sitting in here. A little sprite of him. Oh, no. Okay, that's all right. Let's get out of here. I think I'm going to blow up. Yep. So it sucks you out of there, and you're back onto the track. Let's see if we can try one more thing. I got 60 seconds on the timer. Land in here, possibly. Nope. Since it doesn't really matter, let's do one last thing. I don't think I'm going to make it through that one, but we can go down inside of this. That was just a hole. On the console version, there was one of those keys hidden in there. Let's turn around real quick, see if I can go through that building. that was what was cool about this game, is they let you explore. Like, you're going the wrong way, other games would turn you around and not let you go the wrong way. Maybe it's how the levels load, they don't load right backwards, but pretty cool to see that this game just lets you explore. It's almost like a little open world with a time limit. All right, let's go through it. Hopefully, I don't think I'm gonna be able to stop in it, but there is another dude inside there. A little sprite of a character that says something, and I just don't know what. All right, so now we're gonna go to track 7 again. There is a hidden stunt track that is very difficult to get to. In fact, I may even go with the beginner car. No, we won't. We're not gonna be that boring. Let's turn the drones off. Turn the steering down. All right, I'll show you guys how to get there. It's pretty difficult to get into, and there's not much you can do time-wise, but it's still a cool secret. So this secret is near the end of the first lap. You have to get up here. It's very, very difficult to time, to know where it exactly is, but hopefully you can find it. If you're unaware of where it is, hopefully you can find it just from watching my video. Let's break the glass. So you want to go slow as you get to the top of this, but not too slow because you need to preserve your time a little bit too. But right as you pass through this checkpoint, hit the brakes. And then what I usually do is go off the edge here very slowly, which is tough. And sometimes it backfires like it might be here. Okay, we're good. Ride the brakes down a little bit. Don't go too fast like I'm going. All right, turn. Oh, where is it? I lost it. It's over here. Dang it, I was way off. Oh, and I'm going so slow. I wish I'd gone with the manual transmission. Inside here is the stunt track entrance. Again, you can't do a lot once you're in here, but it is pretty cool that it exists. Drop in, fun little broken loops. It shoots you out into here, and yeah, I'm just gonna, rather than hit some of the stunts, I'm gonna try to let you see it. There is a pyramid kind of thing there to hit as a jump. There are just weird things to jump and bump into and fly off of. Not much you can do because you may not be able to see the time very well on your view, but I only have 15 seconds left before the game is over. So it's kind of interesting they even put it in here, but still a cool little Easter egg. And if you remember on the 64 version, or the second Rush on 64, they put a similar thing in there where you can actually spend more time in it. I think this was probably just something the developers hid as like a fun little Easter egg of sorts. Well, that's all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed seeing Rush. I mean, if you've never seen this arcade game in person, I strongly recommend you try to find one. It is well worth playing. It is an awesome machine. They are a little rare to find in arcades nowadays. I don't know where they've all gone, but they do exist every now and then. I see them around the country. Like I've seen one at Wichita, Kansas, the arcade, also run by Mike's Amateur Arcade Monitor Repair. He has a pair of those to play there. Other than that, now that I think about it, I don't know anywhere else I can tell you that you can go play this machine. I'm sure it exists, I just am unaware of it. I've been to Galloping Ghost in Chicago, and they do not have one of these, at least when I was there last year, they didn't have one. So it is a cool game. If you ever see it, be sure you try it out. It's well worth 75 cents, or hopefully it's on free play and you can really try it and explore it. It's super fun. Check it out. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. Let me know in the comments what you think of Rush. Is this your first time seeing Rush? Do you love Rush already? Have you played it a bunch? Either way, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.